Let's start the boat. Welcome to tape number 3, Daga and the Spidery Daga. This thing here is a bolo, and in the Philippines they often refer to them as jungle bolos. What that means is that it's a fighting bolo. They also use bolos as an agricultural tool. They generally don't have the point. Trust them. They're usually more rounded and just purely for chopping. It's a beautiful weapon. The classic Filipino bolo. You often see the etchings and drawings and even photographs of their Filipino heroes. They always have one of these style bolos. This one was presented to me by Master Corral as my Lacan de Lava, or second degree black belt. And as you see, it's a beautiful weapon. You could feel it, you feel how well balanced it is. And it's excellent for all the fast bolo type movements that we're using for our system Arnis. This knife here is a Moro design, which comes from the south of the Philippines. It's fairly ornate, with a hand guard and a bone handle. The blade is edged on both sides and on the top. So as well as slashing that way, you can slash straight coming back without having to turn the wrist. Very good for the thrusts, the slashes, and the guard here protects the hands a little bit from other blows. You can use it like this, stabbing. Basically, because of the length of the blade, this particular knife is designed for slashes with very, very deep thrusts. This is a Corral and it's designed mainly for big, deep thrusts, deep slashes. Once again, it's got a bone handle, nice grip, really good for cutting and then stabbing. The wavy edge of the crisp design is more than just ornamental. It's also a way of opening the wound up and making it very, very hard to close, so that the damage inflicted on your enemy is greater. And of course, you can strike with the bow. What we have here is an Igorot sacrificial dagger, and about 8 inches of dagger with some bird feathers on the end there, and a hand-carved wooden handle. The Igorots are the aboriginals of the Philippines, the original inhabitants. And they're only about this tall at their tallest. They all live up in the mountains in central Luzon. And they use blowguns and crossbows and bows and arrows and these things. Now this would be for killing sheep and other animals straight into the throat, bleed them. And they also use it for killing people. Generally they put it straight down here between the collarbone and straight into the subclavian artery. Definitely that one will do the job. Not very good for slashing because of the straightness and length of the blade, but still very, very effective. What we have here is a fan knife, or balisong, and this one you've all seen on the movies where they do all the fancy stuff and they spin it around and all that sort of thing, swap hands with it. Well, that's all for show. For a start, they carry them in the belts like this, and as they bring them out, they just open it and straight in like that. When they're serious with the balisong, they take it out and they open it with 2 hands, nice and slowly. And that lets the person know that they're serious with this knife. The folklore and legend in the Philippines is that if a man uses any other knife, maybe he's not 100% serious. But if he uses a fan knife, balisong, then he's definitely serious. And these come from the Batangas region. That's where the best ones are made. And they're strong enough where they can pierce a 1 peso coin. And I've actually done that with a balisong, and it does work and doesn't do any damage to the tip. So that's how you know it's a true Batangas balisong. This here is a Moro Chris sword, or a spada. And once again, it's another beautiful weapon. This one was presented to me by Master Corral as my Lacan Tatlo, or perfectly black belt. It's a custom in our system that we don't give belts as such, we don't wear them. Belts are a Japanese concept. What the Filipinos do is they pass on a weapon or a particular secret movement or something like that. We usually pass on a weapon. These things were reputed to be able to cut through rifle barrels, Maybe they can, maybe they can't, I don't know. But it is an awesome weapon. You can imagine a really, really angry Moro coming at you with one of these things with a great deal of skill. It'd be very, very hard to stop him. And then, of course, we have our rubber training knives. Now, we prefer to use these rather than wood ones, because some of the wooden ones hurt just as much as a stick. So we use the rubber training knife. They're nice and safe. You've still got to watch out for the eyes and the throat. Okay. There's just a few of the knives that we'll be using today. And what I'm going to do now is talk to you a little bit about Daga, or knife. Knife use is intrinsic to Filipino martial arts. Everything revolves basically around the use of the knife. All the systems, the other weapons that they use, generally are adapted or developed from knife and even sword use. There are areas of the Philippines, like the southern Philippines, where the edged weapons, the big swords, were much more commonplace than up north in the Tagalog region of Luzon, around Manila, where being in a city for the last 400 years or so, it wasn't as common to carry a sword, but of course people would carry knives. The Corral system is very much a street system rather than a rural or provincial system. We're very much into more the urban style of Arnis, in which, of course, swords don't play a great part. We will be doing some Espadrille Daga and showing you sword and dagger work, but the main reason for that is so that you can correlate the use of a longer weapon and a shorter weapon, rather than expecting to actually be walking the streets with a sword and a dagger. With the dagger, there are a number of grips. You can hold the dagger in either a knife position, where it comes out from where the thumb is, or you can hold it in what we call the Daga position, where it comes out from the little finger end. With the knife position, we have what we call the file grip. We hold it like you would using a file. And this gives very good slashing, and you can also stab with it. Or you can use the hammer grip, like if you were hitting with a hammer. This allows very powerful thrusts, and you can still slash. Not as flexible as with a file grip, which allows fast turning of the wrist, but you can still do it, and you can still thrust. Many of the old fighters use the hammer grip because it's such a strong grip. They know that in combat they're going to be very tense, and they definitely don't want to be losing their grip. And if you put your thumb across like that, it stops it being taken out. But usually if you open up, as I said, there's nothing to stop the weapon being taken out of the hand. Similar to our grip of the stick that we showed you in track number 1. I personally prefer the file grip, so I can use both. With the reverse grip, or the dagger grip, like so, with a single-edged knife, generally you just stab it like that. That's commonly called the ice pick or whatever, or Hollywood grip. Of course, they use them in what we call the hidden fang, like so, where the edge is facing outwards, and it's like a reverse file with a thumb on top. Good for backhand slashes and then thrusts. Probably easier to show you with one of these. Now remember that most people will not be carrying a knife that size. And don't forget that this is the case about the martial art of Corral system Arnis. We are not saying go out there and carry knives on the street. It's against the law. To carry a knife for self-defense purposes is against the law. If you end up having to use it, there's a good chance the person will die, in which case it could be premeditated murder if you made the choice to carry a knife for self-defense. I don't carry a knife for self-defense. Sometimes I have a pocket knife, which is smaller than this, perfectly legal, and I carry it for peeling fruit, cutting string, and many other uses. I think if I was actually attacked, I doubt that I'd have time to get the thing out. If he had a knife, my focus would be on stopping that knife from killing me rather than taking out my knife and going into a knife-on-knife fight. This comes to very rare. Not that rare in the Philippines, though. But generally, even in the Philippines, one person's got the knife and the other one's doing his best to get away from it. Now, with that hidden fang method, we carry it like so, down here. There's the edge, it's outside. You can walk down the street, especially a dark alleyway or something like that. Anybody comes to grab you, flash straight up on the arm, and in you go. And that's called the hidden fang. It's a very practical way of using this knife. Like that. Just down here. What it does, of course, and one way to think if somebody's using it, is generally they'll be walking and one hand swinging and the other one's not. So if you see somebody where you can't see the palms of their hands, think that they've got a knife. If you see one hand is still and the other one's moving as they walk, they've probably got a knife. Remember, it's a very, very deadly way of carrying it. A lot of them will walk and drop down and cut across the lower abdomen, the legs, or the back of the knees, and get back into it. So, we've got the file grip, like so, with the slashes as well as thrust. We've got the hammer grip, still flash grip, but much better for actual thrusting. We have Daga, very good for stabbing. If the edge and the single edge knife is pointed down, you can stab and pull it out. And it's a very, very powerful stab and hard to block, unlike all the self-defense books that you see. What they don't bring out in the photographs is the guy's really trying to get it in there. Very, very powerful. You try and stop, and he'll just cut straight through you. The other way is the reverse dagger or hidden bang, when it's like this. You don't know if the guy's throwing a punch or whether he's going to slash it, bang, and come straight back with the knife. So those are the basic 4 ways that we use or grip the knife. Now, stance. What we do is the same with our other stance, where we're basically standing nice and balanced. Not too linear like this, that slows us down. Not too uptight, that takes away our balance. So it's a good, balanced position. The elbows tucked into the hip. You don't want it hanging out there, it just makes more of a target. The hands up like so. It protects under here, it only exposes that. You've got to expose something, so let's expose the least that we can. This hand, your right hand, is palm towards your face, and it's covering basically the throat. Elbows in, lean over the barrel, nice and tight. Makes a very small target. You can block the face, the throat, the heart, the stomach, and so on. And you usually work the knife around in a circular motion. It makes it harder for him to see where the knife is. Then you can come out very fast and get the guy. That's our basic stance on the front. From the side, stand like this, elbow in, arm up, guard, lean over the barrel. The reason being is that if he comes in at you when you're leaning forward, you've got a long way to lean back. If you're standing upright and he's aiming for here, you can't go back as far, and he can then extend further and get you. So you give a false impression of being closer by leaning over the barrel. What it also does is it bends the knee, lowers the center of gravity. Your head doesn't come any further forward than the knee. But this is the position. You're in nice and tight, nice and guarded. And here, a lot of your evasive work will be from the shoulders and from the waist. You probably won't have a great deal of time for stepping. And any stepping that you do will be very quick little jumps. Any time that his right hand comes within range, you cut it. Any time that his right hand comes within range, cut it. Okay? So, this is the way that you are. Nice and tucked in. Okay? Nice and guarded. Very important that this is how you stand. Just spread your foot now. If you go to my eyes, I can cover. If you go to my throat, I can cover. If you go to my heart, I'm covered. If you go to the stomach, I'm covered. Don't forget you might go lower than coming high. So you can't just sort of go drop down like that and expose all your throat and face because you'll be in there. So once again, it's very much a case of guarding. Any time that you go to a defensive posture, you've got to be coming back with an offensive posture straight away. Attack, 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 attack. Any time a knife is involved, remember we study the use of the knife because it's part of the art. Because it teaches us a lot of things about other weapons like sticks and empty hands, and because we can understand how best to use a knife, then we can understand how better to defend against one. And that is 99.9% of how you'll come across a knife. Somebody using it against you, not you using it against them. Remember, people that break the law and take knives from people generally don't invest the money into a video to learn this part of the art. So we don't have any moral problems with putting this stuff on tape. It is part of our art. So as I said, down nice and tight and roll with it. And from that position, you can step and move, and it's the same as if you got the stick. Moving forward, front foot. Moving back, back foot. To the right, right foot. To the left, left foot. Try to avoid crossing your feet, because then you're breaking your balance and you're easily being pushed offline. Generally, though, most of the work is done upperfoot, especially if you're in a tight alleyway, such as the really, really narrow alleyway in between all the shacks and the houses and things in Manila. They're very, very tight. And you can't be jumping around all day. You've seen they've got these big monsoon drains, they've got crumbling pavements. The whole place is in a bit of a state of disrepair, so it's not safe to go leaping around. You might stumble over a bit of rubble or a brick or a dead rat or something or whatever. And down you go, and then they finish it. Okay. We have some basic movements that we practice to bring up our proficiency with the knife. And there's not a great deal to it. It is a basic movement because knife fighters that I spoke to in the Philippines, guys that have been in prison riots, that have been attacked with knives, that killed them with knives, that basically you just stab like mad anything that comes within your range. You know, they're not very picky or choosy about doing what they're doing because of the panic of the riot situation. With the basic V movement that we do, it comes out, goes in, twists, and comes back to the other side. Back out, twist, to the other side. Have a look at it now. Out, twist, back. Out, twist, back. Notice that I don't fully extend and lock the elbow. Then your arm's too rigid. Then you've got to push out, lock, release, pull back. Takes time. You've got to stay fluid. Out, back, out, back. Now this rolling action, the wrist, remember the edge is facing out that way. Twist it, pull it back, edge is now facing out the other way. Twist it, and pull back. What that does is if it gets him in here, it just opens the guy right up. So that's usually an offensive manner. In a defensive manner, if you go to grab to cut his knife hand or his arm, and he grabs the knife or tries, you're automatically programmed. As soon as you feel any pressure here, whether it's going into him or him grabbing you, turn and pull back. This really takes out a lot of his defensive capability because as soon as there's a bit of a touch, the knife is already turning and pulling, which will cut him and then you're coming back, which is moving fairly fast. Using that basic V motion. Can come from any angle. Okay? Can come from any angle. Now the live hand is very important too. As it comes out, the twist and tap to the back of it, like so, with a scissoring action. If his hand is grabbed or defended or deflected, this one pushes that away as you cut. Comes back, pushes away again. We're getting back to double Sinawali, the butterfly movement. You can also see that movement in our scissor drill. Very, very important. Now, it's not just a tap. It's actually a strike to the back of the hand. Like that. Into the throat, into the shoulder. You use to push in and then come back in again. So it's very important that you develop that V motion. Start off in your stance, move out and back, out and back. And then you can start speeding it up. Then you start putting in your live hand. Okay? And do it with a rubber knife up against a bag or a tree or something, where you can actually get some pressure, some feel for what you're doing. Then again, build it up. Build up the speed that you're doing it with. You're wanting the slapping, the check, the guard, to make sure that I don't extend. Okay, just there we go. In comes that alive in. Pushing and thrusting. And that's the basic use of the Filipino knife system. Everything else built up on that. Now the targets that we go for in the art, the eyes, the throat. These are the main ones. These are the number one and number two targets. For equal number one. They're the most important ones. These ones will guarantee the fight's going to stop very quickly. He's blind, he can't see, he can't continue to hurt you. If he's cut in the throat, he's going to die very soon, he can't continue to hurt you. A more humanitarian way, should we say, or socially acceptable, is to go for the knife hand, cut it on the inside, cut it on the bicep here. Then if he loses the function, the use of the knife hand, then he's no longer a threat, and you don't have to kill him. Unfortunately, though, this is about the Corral system, which is a strength system, it is a practical system, and whereas it might feel morally great to have the knowledge that you think you can just disarm the guy, there's no guarantee. Remember, we're training to deal with people that are trying to kill us. People don't take knives seriously. This is one of the most dangerous, deadly weapons in the world, probably more so than a gun. Doesn't need reloading, doesn't need to be cocked, never jammed, always ready to be used, and it's got to be that close to use it. So you're not going to miss. Once it's moving fast, very, very difficult to stop it. You're going to get cut, no matter what you do. Especially if the guy's any good, even if he's no good, he's just aggro. You're going to get cut. So that's why you've got to accept that. So you can't take any half measures and think, right, I'll just do this, I'll just do that. There's no guarantee. That's why I'm saying, carry a knife for self-defense, you're a fool. It's going to get you in a lot of trouble. If you happen to come up against the knife, well, then you know how deep who you are in, what a desperate situation it is. If you have to grab a knife to defend yourself against a more superior threat, and therefore you are legally justified to use it, whether it's 2 or 3 of them, or iron bars, or clubs, or even a gun, well then you should at least know the proper way of using it. Alright? So, don't think that you can always just cut the arm, or that's going to do the job. Half the time you cut the arm, you won't even feel it. Okay? Even with stabs, very often they don't feel it. So, what you need to do then is to work on it, and you've got to go for those major targets. Because it's such a serious situation where you're going to use a knife, what have you got to lose? Otherwise, don't use it. Throat and the eye. Going into the heart, you've got the ribs to worry about, although they often stick them up under the armpit there. You've got major arteries in the biceps and in here. You've got a subclavian down under here, which is a little bit difficult to get to, but once cut, very little that medical science can do for you. In the center here, you've got a major artery running down there, just at the back of the organ, so the knife really has to be fairly long to get at that. Opening up the stomach, disemboweling the person, is always a very effective target, but there's not a problem. They can keep on going and hack to the pieces before they die. That's the trouble about knife fights. First of you are probably going to die. If not cut, you definitely end up cut. The knife is also probably not dead. Nothing like the movement, sticking in once and that's it. That's not it. Usually that just makes the guy more angry, and off he goes, and then you both die. So that's what I would say, we're teaching this because it's partly hard. Stay away from it, stay well away from the damn thing. They are deadly and dangerous. And any policeman that shoots with his sidearm, a guy that's tackling with a knife, more than legally justified, in my opinion, because these really are deadly. Okay. So those are the major targets. There's also targets down here, targets behind the leg there, the kidneys, and so on. But it's basically you're going for the throat, and the eye, and maybe the heart. And these are the ones that will do the best damage. Now, we have a thing called cinco-terce, which means 5 ways. And it's basically 5 angles where you're cutting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? And you're working those angles when you're working the knife. You work them in the V motion or whatever. Also remember 6 and 7. We have from the stick, 6 and 7. They're very handy if you come in on the 5, which you goes to block, and take for the 6, which you go to block, and you come around on the 7. And you sort of get and you're in there. Because you can't think and react to that, especially if you pre-plan. 1, 2, 3. You'll go, oh, oh, and then you're in. That's why, as we said, there's 6 and there's 7, when they're really just thrusts on the 1 and 2 angles. As well as thrusting or stabbing, you can also slash. Thrust on the 5. Those are the basic angles. You really don't need any more than that. You use the basic angles, use the V movement, and it gets very, very dangerous for one of these things. If you have it in the Daga position, the angles are still there. 1, come back, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just a little bit limited. The major angles that you use in the Daga are that and that. Maybe coming across like so. Limitation. The knife gives you a bit of range. Dagger grip. This gives you a little bit more concealed sort of surprise factor, but it does shorten the range that you have. This one is one that's used when you're protected by 3 or 4 guys and you're trying to talk your way out of it. You're trying to say, let's go and talk. And if one of them grabs us, we can cut, stab. You yell out knife as you do it. Let him realize he's been stabbed. Let his mates realize he's been stabbed or cut. And then maybe they'll back off and you've only had to do it one person. The true meaning of any martial art is not hurt. Anybody can hurt. A kid can pick up a stick, a knife, and plunge it into a 3-year-old and stab him with it. A 3-year-old in Florida last week found a gun behind the counter of the drugstore where his mother worked and shot a customer. Picked it up, stabbed him, took it away. So anybody can hurt. True martial arts, the high martial arts, is the ability to heal. We have healing arts within Arnis, but healing can also mean the ability to choose between how much you hurt the person. Obviously, once the fight's on and they're really trying to kill you, you have no choice. You just got to fight back 100%. But if you're still in the negotiation stage, then maybe you can just inflict minimum damage and get out of the situation. It's only experience and skill that will sort of allow you that split-second decision-making ability on the spot when you're under stress. Okay. Now, we've got a number of ways of training with these things. So, Jeff, can you give a hand? One of them is with a pole. Now, we'll just give a little bit of content here for demonstration. What you've got to be very careful with here, of course, is you don't put up your partner's hand. And all you're basically doing is you're working your V motion on the pole. You know, come in, twist and pull back, come in, twist and pull back. What I don't do is twist too far back because he's obviously going to kill me. So I'm just working in like so. Just like that. Nice pole drill. Then I can put in my alive hand. Notice what I don't do is cut there, put the alive hand there. I cut there and I put my alive hand there. This takes practice. Skill. Which is only practice. So you go slow. Know exactly where the edge and point of your knife is. Know exactly where your hands are. Don't let the two of them meet at the same time. Newton's law, 2 bodies can't be in the same space at the same time. Very, very applicable when you've got a knife. And as you can practice this way, you can practice slashing on the finger feather. Okay? Rolling the knife. So on. You can also turn the pole over, and then you can practice it. Notice how I start to move around the knife, move around the pole, faking and rolling, practicing dodging movements, and so on. Okay? So you can use the pole. Another way that you can practice is using a piece of paper. So if you have a piece of paper, you can either have a partner hold it, if he trusts you, but Jeff pays, that's right. Or you can have it hanging on a hook or a piece of string. And the trick is not to have it securely taped, because what you want to be able to do is insert the knife and pull it out without tearing. And if it's really tied up, it won't tear, but if you drag on the thing, it will tear straight off the hook. So it's a good way of training. So what I'll do is I'll put it like so. Okay, so I'm certainly not going to get in. I've got to be very careful with it. First practice it went in and I moved it. I didn't go straight in and straight out. So it like that as I can. Because it's wider than the blade. I also dropped it a little bit because you can see how it's torn. So what I've got to do more is straight in, straight out rather than that sort of hooking motion. Just purely for a straight throw. So working on it. Now what you see there, see the difference in the two holes? Okay. This one is straight in and straight out. Like so. There was no pull on it. There was no cutting, there was no dragging. Straight in, straight out. This one, as you can see, there was some curve on it. As well as that, you can practice slashes. What you're working on here is you want to cut in, cut in, cut in, cut in like that. And cut through the paper and not tear it out of his hand. This knife is not that sharp, so that's why I haven't got too much of that. When you get a very, very sharp knife, even free-hanging paper, it'll cut right into it. Okay? What we're doing here is we're using a knife that's not too sharp. The trick, as I said, is to slash and to cut without pulling it out of his fingers or pulling it off. That's some of the ways you can use paper. You can also use banana trees if you have them in your backyard. The Filipinos train by stabbing banana trees because they believe that is the closest thing to human flesh that they've got over there. Your mother might not like you whacking away into the banana tree in the background, so don't worry about it too much. Okay. Now we've also got sparring, and we don't usually use for sparring. What we use are rubber knives. Okay. Now, what you really should do is use some safety goggles. Okay. Even though we're going to be doing certain sparring drills, we won't use them for the demonstration because of what we've got planned. But any free sparring, always use safety goggles. Okay. The first sort of sparring that we do is the basic V movement. So I'll do a V movement into Jeffrey. And all Jeffrey's going to do is every time he sees my hand, he's going to just cut it and cat check it away. We're a little bit close in because of the area, but you want to be close. I mean, knife range is here. This is knife range. Not out here fencing with a 6-inch blade or something. When you start off slow. Just slow like that. Okay? For example, there, as I went in and patch checked that, turned the knife and just cut the basic V movement. Or got my hand out of the way and away he went. Other times I've gone in and he's going to block with his other hand, I patch checked and cut there. And if he left his hand out, I would have been able to pull him and go for it. But he doesn't need his hand back. Then we might start to speed it up a little bit. We're still basically aiming for the hands at this stage, because they move a lot more and they're a harder target to get hold of. There's no point scoring. It's just, I don't want to be hit. He knows when he's been hit. And that's all that matters. We're working on building up our technique, not on our egos. I scored more points than Jeff, or Jeff scored more points than me. What's important is that we develop a technique. So we've got to cut about the arms and so on. You can build it up by going into the throat and so on, but once again, don't use these. They're still hurt, they can still damage. Make them up out of foam. Use foam. Make sure you wear safety goggles. Serious stuff, even rubber knives, they can hurt. wrapping around like this, if you get one of these things on the back of your hand, it still hurts. Okay, you've got to toughen up a little bit, but why do it for too long? All it will do is discourage you from practicing. And practice is the key. Practice, practice, practice. Okay, we have a drill which is a Daga Sinawali drill. Basically, we're using it like so. So he comes in, I catch his wrist. Of course, he might turn down and cut. This is just a drill remember. So he comes in, catches his wrist, bring my knife over here, so I can cut into him like so, tap down, and come in. If he catches, moves, traps, comes in. And we just go on like so. Catches, raises, traps, and comes into stab. Catch, raise, trap, comes into stab. Catch, raise, trap, and stab. Catch, raise, trap, stab. Now, we get this moving, and there are times when maybe I come in on the inside, cut, and stab. Move again, push, and stab. So I start to throw in some attacks. She has to feel and then work again. Here we go. And so on. And it's Jeff's turn to do that to me. And so on. And you play backwards and forwards, then you'll have it where either of us can go into it. It gets messy, it gets scrappy, but it's a hell of a lot of good fun. It really teaches that sensitivity, that rolling, that feeling. Very, very Filipino. And that's on a Daga Sinawali. Okay, now, let's talk about some defense. Let's talk about knife defense. Defending against the knife. First of all, the most aggressive person will win. Every time. The most aggressive person will win. And if you're the one that doesn't have the knife, that means you have to be the most aggressive person. So what we have in the Corral system is sacrifice and kill. Okay? And that's all there is to it. You sacrifice, you take the blow, the cut, whatever it is, and you get into the kill. If the guy's coming at you with a knife, he is trying to kill you. Sacrifice and kill. And that's all there is to it. Sacrifice, kill. Comes from this side. Sacrifice, kill. How do we do that when we're empty-handed? The same sort of concept. I'll call Jeffrey back, and I'll show you what I mean by this now. Jeffrey, now you have a knife to it. If Jeff's there, then he's going to come in with a thrust, for example. I can do all this sort of stuff. But he's not going to stand still for that. If I don't catch the hand, there's a problem. He can come in here, move around here, turn it in, do all that jiu-jitsu stuff. When the guy's really trying to get me, I mean, really, really trying to stab me with that knife, here he comes. Hi, give me that. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. Go. He's getting me. Okay? Oh. Don't have a chance to do all that stuff. The amount of practice that you would need, and then you would have to be fully aware of what he's going to do to be able to use some of those moves. It's beautiful, and as dojo effective as they are, it's a bit of a worry. So what we do is we sacrifice and kill. So if he comes in, or even if he comes in fast, there it is. This hand comes down, goes for the knife, or rather goes for the arm, but if you're going to get cut, you're going to get cut. This comes in, that's down there, knocks out the way, this is going straight into the throat, palm into the face, whatever. Trap, elbow into the throat, and you go into all your empty hand stuff. Smack, take that out of the way. The same basic concept. Body out the path of the weapon, redirect the weapon, neutralize the movement system. You can come in with a backhand smash, sacrifice, and go for it. Spin the eye, straight into the throat. And here, turn around. Boom. There's that butterfly. Snapping the arm across there, all that's going into the throat. He can come in on a triangle with a slash, bang, and move right in there. Snap it here, headbutt, reach around, grab the hair, pull it down, hang it off the grim death, and you break the arm. Then he can't use his arm. He can still punch taking down. Don't try and need a fancy stuff. I even advise against working on the back of the blade. For example, there are some methods where the guy comes in, I move out the way, and I come in on the back of the blade like so. And if he's got a tight grip, so we'll only do this slow, but still. He comes in, and then he twists as I do this, he goes and pulls, see, I'm going to cut me. He gets something sharp follow, I think it's cut your arm off. For what? Next thing, stab. If he comes in, and I can get into here, that's more viable. Okay, back of the blade, I have my doubts about it. Oh, in there like that. But even still, if he's coming in, get stuff to knock it right out of the way and go in for the eye. Then grab hold and do all the things and what have you. Get the knife away from you, get you away from the knife. Okay? Leave the fancy stuff for the movie. Once again, he comes in with a stab or a slash, sacrifice, and kill. He might try something else. Sacrifice, now I'm into a position where I can do that, break the arm, have it just not on the elbow, just above, boom. So to hit into there, and the nerve under the bone, and smack. Also protect me from this. Grab, pulling, knee, slamming around, hit with it's gentle. Very effective though. Okay, so he might come in with a low slash, sacrifice, and kill. We'll show you the scissor drill in a moment, and that's basically all that we're doing there. For example, if he comes in on the one, okay, I just move my hand like this in the scissor. Bang. He comes back, bang. Scissor motion. So he can come in on the 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? And practice that. That scissor motion is very important. It comes in, bang. Then I'm back here to protect the chin. Notice I'm actually standing on his foot. It's always good if you can get that. Then you've got the power to push. Even small people can push against big people when they're really, really angry. Especially if you're standing on the guy's foot because he can't get his balance. And back he goes. So we do a bit of a scissor drill. This time, speed it up a little bit. And I'm in there. Okay? That one, I got cut here. But then again, it's only a drill. I wouldn't let him do all that sort of stuff. First he comes into the first one, boom. I'm in there, nice and close. There's that into the throat. This is locked here. Bang. Headbutt, by his ear. Hair, knee, snap, arm. All that stuff, all done in rapid succession. Where did you learn that? In a lolly drill. Working fast with a stick. That's what brings that on. Okay. This is a closed-in training drill that we do. We were like this. Basically, all I'm doing is pushing out like that. In, boom. And I'm in. There's that scissor, that butterfly action. Come from the other side. Bang. Moving it around. There's the elbow coming in. Snapping. Keep going. I'm trying to get in even closer. Very few people spar or do any tools with a knife, but they're still in the range. Yeah. I've got good control of the gun. Elbows can go into the throat and the face. So I'm standing, even if I miss and cut, cutting the outside, at this point, I'm in there. Sacrifice this. The worst that's going to happen is you lose the use of your little finger. Turn it this way, you lose the use of finger and thumb. So in close, like that. Bang. Unguarded, uncovered, left like in. There's a hit like so. Hit it to here, hit it to there. Pull, one up the other. They just flow. Okay. Now, we also practice a lot of static mugging. You'll see this more in our Walk Safe Cold Steel Survival Tape. Basically, I can be held up. I get my hand as close as I can to the weapon. And I talk to him, I say, I don't want any trouble. Then, body out the path, redirect, neutralize. Could be up against my throat. Okay, one top. Body out the path, I'm moving back, redirect, neutralize, 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 anything, whatever, as long as I've got control. If you want good control, put your hand over his thumb. That'll give you much better control. Rather than being here, he can still move his hand around. You can hear he can move his hand around. When you have hold of that thumb, okay, thumb's important. Even small people can do it against big people if they can get around the thumb. Other things that you can use, can use the belt. You get it off in time, your trousers don't fall down. And if he comes in with a nice round, and then take him back. Okay? You can use the belt. You can use your t-shirt. Your t-shirt off, and you hold that up. Alright? Or use it wrapped around like a belt. You can use your shoes. Get your shoes off, get them, put them on your hands, give yourself a bit of protection. This is providing you have time to do this. Okay? Providing you have time to do this. I actually saw a street fight in Manila where the guy had time to get his belt off and stand there. And it's quite bloody tough the way he got it off. So, you know, it can be done. I've seen it done. Shoes, and maybe time you push the guy away and your shoe comes off, so you pick it up. First thing I'd rather keep them on my feet, take my feet into a runway. There you go. Those are the basic defenses that we use against the knife. There's nothing magic to it. There's nothing involved. It's basically sacrifice and kill. The only way you're going to do it is practice. To stand here and go, boom, and then I go, smack. Comes in with something else, doesn't know what. And I'm in again. This time he really comes in fast. Touch the stomach back, hit. Sacrifice and kill. Then you're going to get cut. Cut with a rubber knife. You have to be cut with a rubber knife. And to develop the attributes and concepts that you need, right? So that if it does happen, I could be standing here talking and all of a sudden somebody attacks me with a knife. I don't know how we're going to do it. We might do it. Whoa, there goes fault plan. Now here, I didn't get cut. I got cut under here, so I didn't get stabbed. Bang, and I go. Then we have a fault plan. Okay, the budget can afford it. Alright, double dagger. Same as if you've got two sticks. What you've got to worry about is cutting, especially the double edge, cutting on the way back. So you've got to roll more. Okay? You've really got to roll more. Alright, let's move into Espada di Daga, or sword and dagger. Okay. So you fight like this. They actually got this from the Spanish, who learned it from the Italians, I believe. Alright? Espada di Daga, using the sword and the dagger. Obviously the sword is used at range. Once you get in close, the dagger goes in. Usually to slip in between chinks of the armor and so on. How you use it, remember on the Sinwali drill tape number 2, we showed you a 4-count or X pattern drill. 1, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And we showed you the advanced X pattern 5-count drill. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's basically all that we do. Then what we'll do is we'll get a stick and another wooden stick or a rubber knife, and we'll practice with those. Then we'll just do that 4 and 5-count drill. Then we'll take a padded stick and a rubber knife and we'll spar with it. Once you find when you spar with it, you do a lot of hitting with the stick, right? And you do very little stuff with the knife. Okay? Very little stuff with the knife. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 and 5-count drill. The same as the X pattern and the advanced X pattern. Some important concepts. Same as when you're fighting double baston. You hit and move to the outside, and his knife hand is on there and it's covered. So you can go sword, dagger, sword, dagger. If you were to hit and move to this side, you're going into his dagger, presumably his right hand, sword in the right hand. Okay? So when you practice it, give that some consideration. But it's the same as double dagger. So correction, double baston. It's the same as double dagger too. It's just the length of the weapon is what's a bit different. You've got a little bit of reach with this one, a more stick with that one, and away you go. We practice with a stick and a rubber knife like this. Okay? Stick and knife. Okay. Spar, we use a padded stick and a knife, and we just spar with it. Typing on the wood. Why we use these? Why do we include it in the Corral system? It's included not as part of the art, because our art is more a street system where they wouldn't walk around with a sword and a dagger. But it teaches you to use a long weapon and a short weapon, such as a broken pool cue and a beer bottle, or a rolled up newspaper and a little knife. A longer one and a shorter one. Teaches you that two-sided bit. Okay? So make sure include it in your training. Don't think that it's the feel and angle. There are some systems in the Philippines, all they do is aspire Daga. And that's great, they're very good at it. That's them, this is us. We include it because of the training benefits that you can get for coordinating a weapon in each hand, coordinating the long weapon and the short weapon. So that's basically all that we need to cover on Daga tape, and with a little bit of inclusion on aspire Daga. That said, the importance, the emphasis is in place on the Daga. We showed you how to use the thing. There's not much to it. It's a simple weapon. Why complicate the damn thing? Why put in lots and lots of drills that are memory exercises? When all you basically have to remember is your grip, your stance, your basic D movement, and your 5 angles, cinco terras. Okay? The rest you have to put in is a hell of a lot of aggression, determination, and whether you're fighting with a knife, whether you're defending against a knife, sacrifice and get in there. Alright? The most aggressive, determined person will win every time. But that doesn't mean you're going to walk away unscarred or unhurt. As soon as you come up against a knife, you get cut. I've seen guys in the Philippines where they go, slice, yeah, I'm already cut, let's fight. They're already cut. I don't care. Doesn't matter what you do to them. They are already cut. They're going to cut you up. So you assess the fact that you're going to get cut. 9 times out of 10, you haven't got time to think about this. It's all of a sudden there's maybe a fist coming at you. You don't realize there's a knife involved. It could be just a flash of steel and you just go into an automatic drill. That's why practicing the sparring with rubber knives is so important. Practicing that close-in, practicing the scissor drill. Okay? Practicing getting out the path, redirecting, and killing. Those things are so important. Simple concept. Done repetitively till that becomes sticky. And when you add your double fast on your center volley drills, when you add it to your single stick, when you do your mano to mano, that's when you see them all the same stuff. And you just fight instinctively. So I'm a